Everybody's here today, and it's great to see Dr. Alan D. Chaffins, the founder of SIBN, along with his co-laborers, Katrina Brittingham and Alicia Johnson and Mary Beasley. And I'm Dr. James Kithcart, and we're just here to talk about what we're doing with the SIBN broadcast. And we've seen so many telethons on TV, Christian telethons, or even just telethons for like handicapped children and different things that are out there, United Way, whatever it is. And they're always asking for money. But we have gotten to a point where there's been so much corruption in religious sectors when it comes to money and talking about money. But what we're doing, we're not asking you to give so that you can be blessed. We're asking that you can give so you can support what's being done around the world. SIBN broadcast is not some local little broadcast that's going out there and reaching two or three cities. SIBN broadcast is reaching 180 different countries. And so many people have been blessed by the myriad of shows that are on these broadcasts. And what we want to do is just ask you if you want to just support and help us, we ask for you to make donations. And Dr. Allen will post what the ways that you can give, the ways that you can donate are going to be up on the screen. And we want you to be just freely give throughout this broadcast. And this broadcast is also going to be the SIBN commercial, where you can actually make donations whenever you feel led to make donations. One thing we want to ask you is that you pray first before you make your donations. And we believe by faith that what the Lord speaks to you will be all naturally, it's going to be legitimate, but it's going to bless you in the way that the Lord desires to bless you, versus us sitting here telling you are going to get the promotion, you're going to get a brand new car and a house. We don't have time for that because we're not going to play games with his children. What we want to tell you is that you can give by Cash App. You see $ Allen, ALLAN, Chapins, CHAFINS. That's one word, $Allen Chapins. That's Cash App, or you can Zelle. The Zelle number is area code 336-937-1891. That's Zelle. Once again, area code 336-937-1891. Or PayPal. The account for the broadcasting station is accounting, ACC, ACCOUNTING at media, MEDIA properties, PROPERTIES.org. And you can give that way. And the giving and the support that you're giving to is to support the broadcasting station, support what SIBN Network is doing globally. And Dr. Allen, if you could just tell the people, how many countries are we reaching with the SIBN broadcast?
Actually, right now we're at 170, 179 countries. The significance of that, and excuse me, I don't know about my geography so much, but I believe there's only, 189, 192 countries in the whole world. So we're well over 80, 90% of the whole world. And on top of that, we have Black, white, American Indian, Asian, and Latino broadcasters, as well as station owners. We are right now at somewhere in the neighborhood of about 44 or 45 different Christian denominations. So it's pretty broad. And by the way, if during this, if you see me looking around, it's because I have other monitors in here, and multitasking today. So that's what's going on. So, but the people you see here are people that I consider good friends, and some have been with me a long time, some not so much. But the reality of it is that we're getting ready to do something very powerful. We have been for 12 years. We have been broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 12 years, nonstop. To my knowledge, we have never been down. And we have been continuously running for all that time. And that says a lot right there. because it's, I don't even know how many minutes that is or how many hours, but it's got to be a whole bunch of them. So we are here because, again, we've been doing this for 12 years. Now, the significance of that is that the industry itself, internet broadcasting as an industry, has only been around for 16. So we've been around fairly close to the beginning of the whole industry, as globally. And yes, I like to talk with my hands like somebody else I know here who gives me a hard time about it all the time. But the point is that we're getting ready to do something even more powerful. And we'll talk about that later on. But right now, we need the backing, we need the funding to make a lot of things happen. And there's a lot of people involved with this, a lot of people that are in different ways broadcasters, station owners, engineers, technicians of various types. Everybody's involved in some way. So this is not about one person. I sometimes I just assume not even to have my name on it. But this is not about just one person at all. This is about all the people who are involved all the way around the world. As of a couple of days ago, it is literally the case that the sun never sets on where SIBN is. We are literally around the world now. So I'll go back to whoever's next. I don't know.
Well, I know Alicia wanted to share some things with us about the broadcasting. And Alicia, would you please just tell us what your experience has been with not only working with Dr. Alan Chapins? You can tell us the good, bad, and ugly, but if you could just tell us give us your thoughts and what's going on with SIBN in your life.
Ooh, here we go.
Yeah, four
No,
years, it even now, right?
right, right. This is my opportunity. No, I have been with SIBM for a little over 4 years. We celebrated our 4th year anniversary in May. And I tell everybody the first show, we had some people lined up, but I was like, mm-mm, just cut it. We're not going to do this. I can't. Mm-mm. And then, after the first, you know, interview, everything went okay. But I was like, okay, now what we gonna do? What's next? Who we gonna talk to? How we gonna get guests? It's all, it's like, what have I stepped into? But I've always wanted to do broadcasting because I used to work nights, and I always talk about Delilah, how she helped me get through my those third shifts, and she would do dedications to different people's families and things like that, and they were so touched that their story got on the air. And so, I just thought it was a nice thing to do, make people feel better. And so that's what I feel like we're doing here at SIBN. We're making people feel better, but we're also bringing information to people. You may not know what's going on around your surrounding areas. And, we tell about different organizations, different authors, artists, whatever. And so, we have various people on our show, and SIBN has just really helped me, even in my financial literacy, to get the word out about financial literacy, and how to help families, and just giving them tips along the way. So if you want to continue hearing all this good information, finding out about these artists and different people that you can bring to your city, help us out here at SIBN, because what I do know is that when you give into good ground, it is a blessing. Now, we're not at saying that we're, like he said, promising you cars and houses and anything like that. But, when you see something that's good and it's good for other people, and you want to support that, that's what we're asking you to do. And you can see all the ways that we're asking you to give, whether it be Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. There's different ways of doing it. But, we just really want to keep going. We're missing about, I think Alan said, maybe about 10, 11, 12 countries. So we still got some broadening to do, because we want to be everywhere that people can hear a word. There's different shows that go on. I'm not going to take up all the time, but I know that there's different shows, and there's shows that I listen to, you know, I don't just come on for my show, but I listen to other people's shows and they bless me. So, you know, I'm just here to, say what SIBN. That's just a small piece. I could go on. Like I said, I've been here 4 years. So I'll let somebody else have an opportunity to speak.
Thank you so much, Alicia. And we have Mary that's out on the West Coast, but living on the East Coast. And Mary, we just want to know if you could just pop in and talk to us about your experience with SIBN and working with Dr. Alan Chaffins.
Okay. I considered finding Alan, and I found him on the internet, y'all. Uh, a blessing. It was, that scripture to tell if you seek, you shall find. And I was seeking a way to reach out your audience, and ran across SIBN, and I gotta do. SIBN is a game changer. I have okay, and Alex, one of the greatest salesmen on earth. I'm telling you, uh, he is me way. We can reach. We have a be in a radio station, stick broadcasting, and literally my goal was the word around the world, and and I wanted that, and especially there are some messages that God gives His people, and they don't have a platform to share it, or they're not in position to share it. And ministries network allows ministers, pastors to get that word that God has given them. Hear me, guys. When God gives you a word, He didn't mean it just for you. A word, He gives you a responsibility, charge. He gives you passion, and believe it or not, He will give you the platform because your gift will make room for itself.
Mm-hmm.
When I was getting all these words right, he gave IBN, and I have been blessed ever since. IBN is initially I came in for the word. I want the word around the world. Still do. Got a word? Let me know. I can help you. But with SIBN. Anyway, from that, man, people have a deliverance channel. And there's so many ways it grow your gift and expand, and God really use you just in your neighborhood or in your community or in your town, your city, truly, and world. And I have found it to be very challenging, but in a good way. It stretches you, that allows you to see what you do. I'm actually getting ready to start another book reviews, because there are people who have written books and they actually sit in their closet, a box of them, right? I know I got a box. Anyway, but anything you can imagine, you can make that thing work. God will open that up. And I believe that being is a gateway for that. I call Alan our gatekeeper. And I really believe God blessed this man with the vision that impacts the world. So if I can encourage you, and I'm not saying don't, I'm saying invest. Invest in your ministry, invest in your calling, invest in your business, invest in your future, invest in your potential. This not a giving study, it's you see opportunity, or you season um the most that God can show you a way forward. I believe being is that the way forward. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you notice, I saved someone for last because I really believe in my heart. There's going to be a lot that's said and shared with us um, by the dynamic, the incredibly gifted teenager that's going to
Oh
bring
boy.
forth information next. And the good thing about this is we're excited over the fact that we are breaking all kind of color barriers. I don't believe there's. I believe there's only one race. That's the human race. That's just me. I believe there's many a variety of ethnicities, but there's only one race. And this is great because we have an opportunity to reach so many people around the world. Many times we're trying to figure out what the cost is for a flight to Africa, Asia, whatever, so we can preach for a group of people for 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever, and then pay for the hotel, pay for the food, pay for all the expenses that come with traveling. Then you throw in a pandemic where certain countries you're allowed in, certain countries you have to have specific vaccinations, and then certain countries you could get into, and there's a risk for your health because of their lax approach in the pandemic. But here you have an opportunity to broadcast around the world from the comfort of your own home. And you can set your own little background up. You can be on the beach, or you can be in the mountains, or you can have, well, I know the background that Katrina has, that is actually her background, that is actually her home. But you can set up just like I have a ugly green screen, or I can put up something real nice as a background, and then I can reach around the world. And it takes money to do this. It doesn't come free. And you see down below on this broadcast, you see the Cash App, you see Zelle, and you see PayPal. But I want to have the dynamic gifted Katrina Brittingham tell us,
Oh,
give us some more information about how she's been able to utilize SIBN and the impact it's made in her life. Would you please tell us something, Katrina?
oh wow. He really put the screws to me, so I have to deliver, right? Um,
Yes, indeed.
I'm Katrina Brittingham, and I started out SIBN about 4 or 5 years ago now. And I came in actually just looking for a podcast. I had been a podcaster for a couple years. I absolutely hated it because if something went wrong, I didn't know how to fix it. And so I could have a whole broadcast that sounded like I was chewing gravel the whole show and, going in and out. This was actually before we did video. So he's saying a teenager. Woof, I wish. Sometimes I think about where I came from when I started this, and I'm like, where technology is now. I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel so old. But um, so I was around when podcasting was first starting and everything, and I was like, I got to try something else. Um, and we have engineers behind the scenes that can do certain things and handle some behind the scenes things. I started out with the online radio show, which is different from podcasting. When you're podcasting, you have your own little world and you have to bring people in, which you still do build audience, but you come with a built in audience because it's online radio. So then you have the backing of that platform. Along with whoever you may have, or even if you're starting from scratch. It amazes me because I then went into online TV and then I built a network out of it so I can actually bring shows in under me, which we're about to have a show come under us. I went from being a solo host to having a co host. I went from, uh, I came on, I'm a coach. So I started out as a career transition coach, helping people who have been in the industry for a while who wanted to switch to another industry that evolved because as life started to evolve. People who were transitioning mid-career actually wanted to start a business. So that evolved the into the business coaching. And I do have years of business experience. You can't see it now, but I have a whole lot of acronyms behind my name from the world of business. So I brought the information that I had there to help people start and launch their business and give them the confidence and for them to start their business with the right foundation. I am also a business owner. Helping people to do that. So I have the executive coaching and the business coaching for small business. Using the network that I have interviewed business owners. I have interviewed authors, of which I am an author as well. Um, and I recognize what Mary was saying about having a box full of books in your closet. I don't, because I didn't want to go that way. So helping people, and my business was always online. So even before the pandemic, it was, people thought I was crazy. And I was like, well, no, God told me to have an online business. And I've been in business for 10 years, actually more than 10 years now. But when I started, it was kind of crazy to be a coach and not have a brick and mortar business. Well, when COVID happened, my colleagues, the same ones that called me crazy, was like, wow, you knew what you were doing, because now we're trying to figure out how to reach our clients. And now we have this lease that we have to deal with. So I say that to say that it is always important to listen to what God is telling you and how he's telling you to do it. It may even sound crazy in a moment, because me picking up online broadcasting was definitely out of my wheelhouse and seemed crazy. But I found myself growing. I have even built in a conference that comes in through SIBN for business owners, um, from people getting feedback from my clients and other colleagues about going to conferences. And who's ever been at a conference where you're like, oh, I'm so hyped up, and you take all your notes and you go home and realize you just got a slogan. Well, my business, you are actually taking the conference, you're actually taking something that you can use to grow your business. That was important to me, the growth of people. Because we all talk about a vision, we all talk about the word and the calling, and everyone has different callings. Mine is to help people get to their passion, whatever road they take. Hence, venture ready. And as whatever path you take, that's where I'm navigating you to and helping you get to. And many times in careers in the business world, even in ministry, you have where people give you slogans, but you can't really get out of that box. My job is, we all have a purpose. Um, uh, you know, um, Dr. Chaffins has a purpose, and he has certain people that he is meant to reach. Mary has certain people that she is set to reach. Alicia, let me make sure I say that right, has certain to reach. And I can't see the last person's name, and I'm not good at names, but the handsome gentleman sitting in front of us, he has a certain
That's
amount of
Alan.
reach. Um,
Alan. James.
James, thank you. See, that's, we all have our shortcomings. That's mine. I remember faces, names, is something for me. But I will never forget your face, and I will remember where I met you and how you have impacted me. And that's how most people are. They don't may not remember what you said to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel. And so it's all about, it's room for everybody in this pot. There is literally millions and trillions of dollars out there. There's room at the table for everyone to eat. The problem is people are acting like that there isn't. And so it's helping people get to where they need to be. I like I said, I found myself really deep in the online broadcasting space, being a board member, being a professor, in the university, helping people, which was, you never know how God is going to do. I had a teaching background, and because of that, we get the feedback that people all over the world are watching, learning English from the program, and they come every week. And so you never know the impact that you will have. I mean, it brings emotion into me, because when it was told to me that this is what was going on, I was like, wow. And Alan didn't even know that I had taught children in other countries English. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm gonna tell you why it's amazing, because this is what I used to do online and everything like that for young children. And I said, so here it is that God brought that piece of my life back into the fray. But what I will say is um I always feel like if you give, then you should receive. And so if you give a donation of $25 or more, you will get one of my books that I authored. If you're a business owner, I have the book Why Not Me, from insecurity to gaining success. So that was my journey from um, the corporate world into owning my own business and a little bit beyond that. If you're someone who's looking for a job, we're in a time where there's a tough job market. You can choose either between the interview winning resume writing book or the complete interview guide. Okay. If you give a donation of $100 or more, you can get all three books. Okay. Electronically, for those who are tech savvy, if you want a paperback book, that can be made arranged too. But it's all about helping you, or at least that's what my show is all about: helping people, helping them to grow and get to the next level. So we're not necessarily asking you to give and it's just like, oh, give and you can watch the programming. This is something that will help you in your day-to-day life to grow and to get where you need to be. And that's all I'm going to say because
Thank
I
you so much.
more.
And see, this has been very impactful to hear the different aspects of how this type of broadcasting has impacted our own personal lives. For me, um, I am a retired Marine, 23 years, retired in 2002. I've been in ministry since 1997 out of Okinawa, Japan. And I've traveled around the world and done ministry. I've preached in all over the world: Africa, Caribbean, Haiti, um, Asia. I mean, and then all throughout the United States. And one thing that's always impacted me is the fact that you can get in the pulpit and you can preach what you perceive as one of the most phenomenal messages. If it's coming from the Lord, it's going to be phenomenal. Um, but there's a certain group of people that can hear it, and that's it. On these broadcasts, you can teach, and I'm not saying yelling and fussing at the people, but just teaching and being able to reach the nations and the multiple ethnicities that are out there that are hungry for the truth and the different approaches to succeed in life. What we failed in the church, we made it as if you come to the altar, you get this word, you come to the altar, and you give us some money, and then we're going to pray for you, and then once we send you back to the seats, there's just going to be a series of incredible miracles that happen. But when you leave out and go back into Monday morning to Friday, you're back in your reality, and nothing that was spoken over the pulpit or at the altar has even remotely manifest for you. Here on a broadcast like this, you have the fruit of it, where you can play the broadcast over and the broadcast can go out all over the world. There's been times on the broadcast, I'm sorry for using my hands, but there's been times on the broadcast where we've heard people come in and comment, "You're talking to me." And where's this comment coming from? Oh, it's coming from Malaysia. This comment right here is coming in from Africa. You're talking to me. I needed to hear this word. You don't know what I'm going through right now, and this word, the teaching from today, it's exactly what I needed. It answered my prayers. When you hear something, this is just my take, this is just a meism, if there's a such word. If I can preach to the nations and it impacts one person, I'll rejoice like it impacted a million people, because the assignment, it's not for multiplicities of numbers, and just people say, yeah, that blessed me. What was the teaching on? Something about whatever, and then I really like the song, but what did she teach? What did he teach? I'm not really sure, but it was good. But then you have a person saying, I was ready to commit suicide. and I heard "Get Healed for Real," and "Get Healed for Real" taught me something, um, and it had to be coming from the Lord because it's exactly what I needed at that specific time, or I was going to take some pills and call it a day. And now here I am 5 months later, and I'm doing much better because I held on to what was being taught. And the great thing about it, they can always go back and look at the recordings of the broadcast. If you didn't grab it the first time, if you didn't catch it the first time, you can always go back and listen to the broadcast, especially if you're recording it. You can listen to the broadcast and gain that information. The worst thing for a person that's gifted to reach the nations to do is throw something out there and then disappear off the scene and they're not accessible. So even on these broadcasts, we make ourselves accessible and tell people if you still need more information, if you need prayer, you can inbox me, and Alan has allowed us to do that. You can inbox me and reach out to me and I have no problem praying. And the first thing people end up saying is, well, how much do you charge to pray? I was like, how much what are you saying? They said, well, what is your fee to counsel? What is your fee? I don't have a fee to counsel
For
for
real.
ministry. I don't have a fee to pray for you. And I definitely don't pray and require you give a donation before I open my mouth up and pray. I believe the fact that you reached out to me is the donation, is the payment, is the blessing. Because deep down in my heart, I believe that it will be the Lord that provides for me, and it's going to be the Lord that even touches the hearts of the people that are listening to this telethon broadcast that we're doing, asking for your help. And I just want to say it again. We need your help so that we can expand the broadcast. We can meet the needs of more countries that are extremely impoverished, that they have the people that can do broadcasting, but they don't have the funds to support it. And we want to be a blessing to the point where we can sponsor different countries. I was blessed just a week and a half ago to be able to sponsor a network and get a broadcasting station in Jamaica up and running and get them sponsored for another year of broadcasting. And there's several other connections that I personally have where I'm not going to go into the details, but you've seen it all online about the Camp Lejeune drinking water. Well, I was stationed there in 1980 and I was poisoned at the age of 17, and had to live with this for the last 42 years. I've had to live knowing that I was poisoned. But the sad thing about it was when you went to people and talked to them about it, we were told there's nothing wrong with the water. There's nothing wrong. You're making it up, whatever, whatever. Now on the broadcast, I was able to get information out to veterans that had no idea. They're not online, they're not media savvy, they're not on internet, they're not on computers, they don't barely know how to use their phones, so they knew nothing about it. And we made several broadcasts, and now people are finally getting registered in the settlement so that they can be properly compensated for the poison that we were drinking from 1953 to 1987, the end of 1987. And now it's all over the internet. Whereas it started with me talking about it in 1981, complained again in 1983, and then 2002, when I retired, I complained again about it. And I was told there's no such thing, go away. Just take your retirement and go away. Now, all of a sudden, it's real and it's true. And this is why I use this platform to get the information out, to encourage people to register their names. This is for Marines, this is for civilians, this is for their spouses. And now Congress approved it for even their children, because the chemicals and the toxins stay in your blood system and they can be transferred into your children.
Wow.
It's that bad. And so instead of me sitting in a corner somewhere and crying and asking why me, I look at it as an opportunity to say, I'm still fit, I'm still alive. I might have the symptoms, but I don't have the disease. And now I'm able to talk to the people about it and get this information out. And the great thing about it is I don't have to worry about engineering. I don't have to worry about the fine tweakings and all this. I can just make the broadcast, make the recording, get the information to Dr. Chafins, and he gets the word, it gets the the broadcast blasted out to the nations. This is why we need your support. This is why we need your donations. We're not going to sit here and once again, we're not going to beg you and we're not going to make all these false promises. We're just going to tell you what you're giving to the SIBN broadcasting station. You're going to find out over the months to come that you gave into good ground, because the plan of attack and the architectural plans are absolutely mind blowing on what's planned and what Dr. Allen has planned out for the next coming, this next dispensation, I should say. And what we plan on doing as a coalition of believers and leaders and chair people on this panel, we plan on really knocking the walls down, ripping down the curtains, crashing into prison systems, and being able to reach people everywhere. That's the plan. And the people in the jungles in the Amazon and people that have no access to internet, they're going to have radio broadcasts, because we will be setting up radio stations in places that you would never imagine. And it's all going to be because you had it in your heart to donate and be a blessing and give to the SIBN broadcast station. We're not going to hold you up today. We're not going to drag things out. This commercial, this is going to be a donation commercial. We broadcast throughout the day. It will be broadcast throughout the week and the months to come. And it will be a regular commercial that's aired on SIBN broadcasting, asking for your help. And we're asking for help, and we're believing by faith as a chair people that we're going to be to the point where we're not begging or trying to figure out what's going to happen for next month. I believe by faith that we're going to have more than enough, because we serve a God that can do anything but fail. Dr. Allen, I'm going to turn it over to you. That's all we have here. Would you like to say anything to close us out? And then we don't want to bore anybody. We don't want to drag anything out. We just want you to know the truth. SIBN broadcasting is the way of the future.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. First off, we need to clarify one thing. No, we're not telling people they're going to get a new car, a new house, or whatever. We're not telling them that. However, what is true is this. Every time we touch up the life of an individual somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Africa, whatever comes out of that, the people who are involved with us get a piece of that. Okay? That piece is written in a book, and that piece one day is going to be open. That book is going to be open, and everything that people were involved in will come out. So no, we're not promising cars and houses and all these things. And yes, I talk with my hands too. We're not promising those things. But the Bible does say that you are a part of something, and you will be part of that thing, whether you're a broadcaster, a station owner, someone who sees this commercial and says, yeah, I want to be involved in this. You're part of it from that point on. But the thing about it is, yes, I founded this network. God allowed me to do it. I don't take credit for it. I don't. God allowed it, and I'm grateful. And I will honestly tell you, and people ask me, where did you get the idea for this? And I'll tell you the honest truth. SIBN was born between the peas and the carrots in the grocery aisle in a certain grocery store chain in North Carolina. Truth. I wanted to have a place where everybody could get together and reason together and work together as one group of people. Leaving all the politics aside, leaving all the denominational barriers aside, leaving everything out. Just a group of people coming together, reasoning together, and going forward as one body. That's what I wanted. Now, here we are 12 years later, and look at where we're at. We're broadcasting around the world continuously every day. People are impacted, whether it be the The little Chinese kids that are learning English from some of the shows that they're watching. And it's no accident, by the way, that you see the people that are on the screen right now. No accident. Okay, these are people that I know are involved in what they do. These are people that I personally have a lot of respect for. Good people. We have built something and we're continuing to build and expand it. But you can get so far in expanding something, and then you have to have the resources to keep expanding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we are right now. Yeah, we're going to be showing this all over social media. We're going to be showing this particular program or whatever title you want to call it everywhere because we need the help right now. We need people to sow into what we're doing so we can expand further and touch greater numbers of people in greater regions of the world. Or as someone told me the other day, it's time to come out of the cave and take control of what we're doing. And that's all we're about here. We're not making great promises and things. That's not it. All we're promising you is that you can be part of what we're doing and touch the whole wide world. That's what we can promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been doing it for 12 years. And hey, I'm a young man. I'm a young man. I won't tell you how old I am. But I plan on doing this for many, 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 many more years to come. And the people you see on the screen with me right now, I plan on dragging them with me. Kicking and screaming or not, I plan on dragging them all with me. That's where we're at. You see the information on the bottom of the screen. All you have to do is want it. Want to be part of something. The internet's proven. COVID proved that the internet is the future. COVID proved it. Now everything is on the internet. Classes, church services. You can even get an eye exam over the internet now. I mean, all these things because the internet is the future. There are people out there who always want to be part of the future. Well, here's your chance. All you have to do is want it. You can have programming with us. You can have stations with us. Or you can simply say, I'm not into all that. I can't handle all that, but I want to be part of it. And all you got to do is pick up the phone, get on the internet, and follow the instructions of one of those methods on the bottom of the screen. It's up to you. I'm not a very public person. I don't take credit for SIBN. I'm happy to be part of it. I'm happy that God allowed me to do it. But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about an individual. It's about a group of, I don't know how many billions of people are in the world right now. But it's about every single one of them. And you've got the ability to make an impact in all their lives. Or just one life. But the point is, you got the chance. You got the ability. But you got to take it. You got to reach out and do something with it. That's all I got, guys. Anybody want to close out or say something, or what do we want to do?
I think this is the best. That was the best way to close it out, ladies and gentlemen. You once again, you see the information at the bottom of the broadcast. It's up there for you. This commercial will be broadcast throughout the day and throughout the months, and it's going to be a standard broadcast, a standard commercial for SIBN, and we need your support. And if you want to do support monthly, or if you want to give a large sum, that's all up to you. We're not going to tell you how to support us, but we want to say thank you for supporting SIBN Broadcasting. And until further notice, once again, your support means the world to us. So please continue to support us. Please continue to give as you are led. We said this at the onset of the program. Before you give, pray, and listen to the instructions and go from there. I have nothing else. I don't know if Katrina, Alicia, or Mary has anything else, but if not,
Oh,
we're going to end
yes.
it this
Can I
way.
say? Can I just
Yes,
say something? I'm
yes,
sorry.
ma'am. Mhm.
Thank you. Um, I really believe in SIBN, I am offering a part of what I do for a living. I am a licensed
Don't
clinical
give away your
Christian
secrets,
counselor
Mary.
or a licensed clinical pastoral counselor. Can you hear me?
Yes. Mhm.
Um, I would like to donate a 3-minute free counseling session for anyone who gives a $20 offering. In that counseling session, we will cover your temperament profile. And your temperament is actually the part of you that God places within you while you're being formed in your mother's womb. Out of your temperament, you enter is how you use to interact with people, places, and things. I find that it is imperative, and especially in these days, that first we know who God created us to be and who what He's created us for. So, in that, with that being said, I like to donate for anyone who gives a $20 off donation today, a 30-minute free counseling session. And it
Incredible.
can across the world. We do have Zoom. You don't have to be in my area to have these sessions. Is that all right?
Thank you so much. That is absolutely incredible because anybody that's um, in a position where they have gone to any type of counseling and you know that that person's making 70 something dollars an hour, $80 an hour for their certified counseling, and they're giving you 30 minutes of it for free. That in itself is a blessing. So thank you so much, Mary. um, this is our group, and this is our team, these are the board members, and please get used to our faces because you're going to see us for a long time coming with this commercial, and get a chance to see the shows that we do on SIBN. I have nothing else to say except have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in, and once again, thank you for your donations. It's making a difference. Okay.